Hello, Potato. What's this you're asking? 2 videos in the same day? Well, yeah, just because we're doing these little guys doesn't mean there's not still time for weekend magic. It is the weekend after all. And we've got a few things to look at today. Predominantly, we're going to put a pin this week. But first, to get us started, it is only a week till Halloween, which should only mean one thing: Christmas masks! Yep, this is the other set of Christmas masks that goes along with the set I showed you in the midweek magic video from like a week and a half ago. So let's take a look at them, and then we can get the masks out of the way and get on to the pins. So I know some of you don't really like the mask videos, and don't worry, there's only 2 masks in this pack. It's a small pack. And here's our first one. It's the Gingerbread Mickey and Minnie. Plus, got actually some other gingerbread characters as well. We have a gingerbread, looks like Goofy there, Pluto. Do we have a Donald? Are you Donald? Are you Daisy? I think you're Daisy, so we must have a Donald here somewhere, right? Oh, maybe that's got a dress on. That's got to be Daisy. I am not seeing Donald. Looks like a rabbit or something. But still, there's Daisy. Donald must be here somewhere, and I'm just not seeing him. And I'll see him when I edit probably and go, oh yeah, he was right in front of my face. So these are as Disney's been pushing towards the polyester masks. They're not cotton anymore. And I've actually been wearing the polyester ones for the last week. And I'm going to say I don't mind them. They are a little bit lighter. They don't pull on the ears quite so much. They don't shrink in the wash, or at least they haven't after one wash. So, and the cotton ones have. The cotton ones have been getting like progressively smaller each time we launder them. So maybe the polyester is a better idea. I do kind of wish they were still the 3 layers like the cotton were. And I do still kind of have an issue with, if you're going to make the masks out of a cheaper material, you should lower the price. But it's Disney. You gotta accept it or skip it. And we've chosen to accept it. Yeah, it's a cute mask. It'll get worn a little bit before Christmas, or hey, maybe the whole month of December. Who knows? But yeah, it's cute. Again, it's more of that gingerbread Mickey and Minnie we've been starting to see. We've had a pin of them and an ornament of the Mickey, and there's plush, and yep, here they are. And of course, it wouldn't be a Christmas mask set without Mickey, so here he is. Yeah, you saw this one in the package. It's just some Mickey heads on kind of a red and black checked background. I think there was like a green and red one, kind of similar check in the other Christmas pack. Or maybe I'm thinking of one of just the Mickey masks. Maybe I had like a gray and black check. But anyways, it's another cute mask. It gives kind of the look of like a flannel. Of course, it's not. It's polyester. But yep, so far wearing these, they're pretty lightweight. They don't wear on the ears as much. So yeah, I will say I am happy with the polyester masks. Again, just to beat a dead horse, not happy with the price. Okay, let's put a pin in that and move on to some pins. Keeping with our Christmas theme of the masks, let's start with this pin. This is a limited edition LE 4100 2020 holiday pin, which makes it, I think, our 3rd holiday pin now? At least our 2nd, because I know we had that one that's at least rang up as charity pin. And now this one's kind of cute. It's actually like a little snow globe. The little crystals inside of here do move around. So that's kind of cute. You may notice that the packaging here is a little damaged. Yeah, that's because it came in a box with just some airbags and it's kind of floated around in there. And while we've had some pretty good luck with pins recently, they, you can only roll the dice so many times before you fail to make a save and your pin shows up on a damaged backing. It's just kind of a shame that it's on a limited edition one, so there'd be no way to get it replaced. But the pin itself is fine. It's not broken, damaged, scratched in any way. It's a double back because it's a fairly decent pin, and it is, of course, a domed, like a snow globe pin. So if you want to put this on something, you would probably want to be careful with it, because that feels like that's plastic, but it's still going to break fairly easily. Now, speaking of pins that we've had some issues with getting shipped to us, let's move on to this one. Yep, just a little Minnie Mouse pin, one of those double pin, pin-on-pin kind of pins. It's Minnie adjusting her bow. It's not part of main attraction or anything like that. And the reason I mentioned about problems with them is, well, first we've got a little bit of damage to the card here, but that's not a big deal. This is like an open edition pin. But we're missing one of the pin backs. It was not in the envelope. It is just not there at all. And we haven't contacted Disney yet to see about, if they can send us a replacement one, like, for free, since, we paid for it, and it just wasn't there. But we got a couple other mini pins as well. We've got this one, where it looks like she may have taken a little medication. You got a little sleepy-eyed there. Little sleepy-eyed mini. She's only a single back, that's why she's like wobbling around on her backing here. Yeah, she's not a double back. She's not as heavy. This one, again, it's like that kind of pin-on-pin thing going on here. So it's much heavier than this one is. And then third, yep, it's more Minnie Mouse. We've got this kind of 3 faces of Minnie. I think it's kind of 3 different generations, because I think that's more of like your earlier, I'm going to say not quite Steamboat Willie Minnie, but an earlier Minnie. That's kind of more the 80s, 90s Minnie that I grew up with. And then here's that kind of, again, the word flirty is the only one I can think of to describe the look of the newer Minnie. So yep, it's another cute little pin, and it is also double back because it's, while not super heavy, it is reasonably wide. And I don't know how much any of these were. I don't need to throw them around like that. Yep, but they're cute, and you can probably guess these were ones that my wife picked out. We'll get to the ones I picked out in a second here, but just give you one more second to look at these. She really does look like perhaps she's been enjoying 420. Okay, our next pins are part of a series. They seem to do these, well, I guess every fall, because they did a couple years ago during the Mickey Mouse, they did the dolls for, was it the red carpet or the grand premiere or something like that? That was, of course, led to the near fist fight at the October? Yeah, at the October release. And this year, they're doing Midnight Masquerade, and while I'm not going for the $120 dolls, I am doing the pins. And here's pin 1. I actually got this one through Merch Pass, so that's, I think, probably part of why I bought it. If I hadn't gotten it through Merch Pass, I might not have bothered getting it at all, and would therefore save myself, well, 6 pin sets worth of these. But I do have it, and it's actually it's a bigger pin set than I thought it would be. I thought these would be smaller pins. I know, for the price, they should be big pins. I think they were 40? 30. Yeah, for 30 bucks, they should be big pins, but I just kind of expected smaller. But they are very nicely detailed. I don't know if you can tell, well, you can see these with glare. I'm not taking them out of the package. But we have a portrait of Maleficent. This is part 1 of 6. Maleficent and her mask. And the doll comes with basically this same mask. We didn't buy the doll. And the portrait actually is not flat. It's kind of pushed out. It's sort of a relief. Yeah, she has an outline of her pushing out against the pin. Kind of even up in places with the border. The border or the frame of the portrait also is 3-dimensional. It's not a flat pin. And the mask is really, I think, nice. I mean, look, we got the little jewel in the center there. And it's got Maleficent's horns. They're really, I think, really well done masks. I don't know about the dolls per se, but I think the masks are really well done, especially in the pin. I think the masks that come with the dolls are actually plastic, but this is a nice solid metal. And I didn't just get this one, because last week they released Series 2, which was Lady Tremaine from Cinderella, the wicked stepmother. I didn't actually know that she had a name. We were just calling her Wicked Stepmother until I, saw on this that it was called Lady Tremaine. I'll see it on this. I noticed it on the website. I guess it doesn't say the names actually on here. You are just expected to know. But I actually kind of like her mask a little better. It's more of the style you actually would hold at an old-timey masquerade party. Big feather on it. And again, the portrait of the Lady Tremaine is, I don't know, I think it's kind of torn the plastic a little bit here. Funny thing is, this one I didn't get through Merch Pass. I didn't even get from Shop Disney. This one they had in store after realizing that the Maleficent stuff had come out in store. When I didn't get her through Merch Pass, we went down to our LEGO store on that Saturday and picked up the pins. So yeah, that's what we got the first two. I did manage... Alright, so if you were paying attention to these sorts of things, you are aware that Merch Pass seems to have finally died a merciful death. So I've just ordered the Ursula pins normally. They released them on Tuesday at, 7 a.m., along with some other stuff. Again, I didn't order the doll. It was available, but I didn't order it. Just ordered the pins, which I suppose if I hadn't, I probably could have just gone over to the Disney store today and picked them up and shown them to you next week, but oh well. I've ordered them. I don't know for certain that the stores are going to have them. I have a trust issue with Disney right now. I want the stuff, but I don't trust that I'm not going to like miss out on things, you know? But the good news is Merch Pass seems to have died. They didn't do it for Ursula. They don't appear to be doing it for the Jungle Cruise Minnie Mouse Main Attraction items or any of the future masquerades. So that'll be nice. The waiting room is still there, but I don't really have an issue with the waiting room. Anyways, look at Lady Tremaine here. You've been looking at her while I've been rambling. Yep, they are limited release, just like the Maleficent pins. They are both double... Well, actually, no, they're not both double-backed. Oh, they're there, yeah. They are both double-backed. You know, of all of them, I kind of like the masks for Hades the best. And I'm a little tempted to get that doll. I don't like the movie Hercules, but I love the character design of Hades. And of course, the downside is I'm going to end up buying, Yzma, or whatever her name is, from The Emperor's New Groove, which is not in my top 10 Disney films. But the pin looks interesting. So, and I can't buy 5 and not buy all 6 of them, right? Or at least try. Alright, so, I mentioned not buying the dolls. It's not strictly speaking true. Let's look at our next item, because that does it for the pins. Alright, you're asking here, what are you doing, Void? Why are you showing us a box that's clearly already been opened? Mostly because I want to show you this label, and obviously as it gives away what the item is, if what I'm segueing to it from doesn't. But that says Girls' Toys. I kind of thought toy manufacturers are pushing away from this gendering the toys thing. And I have a problem with it for a couple reasons. One, if boys want to play with dolls, let them. And two, this isn't a toy. This is a collector's item. You wouldn't give this to a child to play with. At least, God, I hope you wouldn't. It's 120 bucks. And of course, it is nothing other than Lady Tremaine herself. This is the only one of the series my wife likes enough to have actually ordered. The box is actually somewhat similar to the, opening night or grand premiere dolls from a couple years ago. They open up the flaps. I put a light on top there so you can see her a little better. But I discovered, while setting up for the video, she actually comes out of the box. So let's do that so we can get a better look at her without the glare off the plastic. Although, honestly, looking at this through my little dim view screen, I think this looks pretty good. But yeah, she actually, this is not fastened in any way. She slides out. I guess maybe you can do a little maintenance on her should like something be out of place in the box. So let's slide her out and get a better look at her. So I found behind the doll, there's actually, that's where the certificate of authenticity is. And so we can see which number we got. So Lady Tremaine is a limited edition of 4400, which I think makes her the second lowest edition of these dolls. I think Yzma might be the lowest one, like at 4,000 or 4,200 or something like that. But we got number 471, which I feel like that's a fairly low number, which is nice. Low numbers are always nice on numbered collector's items. The front cover of the box actually slides off too, so we can get a really good look at her. I will say, so comparing the pin to the actual doll's mask, I like the detail on the pin better. I mean, this is just plastic. It's held in rubber bands and stuff. I'm not going to touch it around too much. But I think the pin is actually more nicely detailed. However, the rest of the doll is really well detailed. We should put the light back on it. Let's see if it'll hold that without a problem. Yep, there we go. So I really love the way they've done the hair on her. They've got the eyelashes. I really don't want to touch her much because yeah, I mean, we don't normally take these out of the box like this. I wonder now if the opening night ones from a couple years ago come apart like this too. We never tried. But you can see a lot of nice detail on her costume here. We got the little, is it on camera? Yep. Got the little key, which is actually like stitched in place to the dress. It won't wobble around too much. Got her mask, got her hair. And then if we pan down a little bit, you can see this is actually quite the daring outfit because her legs are actually exposed. The whole front of the dress here, I never noticed this in the pictures online, that this is actually open. This is just chain here. You can see her legs, which, you know, for a lady of her age, seem to be in pretty good condition. You can also see that she's standing on a pedestal down here. Maybe you can't, but she is. And I can pan down a little more, I guess. Because her dress is actually too long for her to walk around in without like just dragging it all over the place, which I guess is the style of the period. But there's a lot of nice detail in the dress too. We got the keys again, the flowers. It's a really nicely done doll. The whole series is nice. These $120 dolls are always nice, but they're also freaking huge and 120 or 130 bucks each. So you know you gotta pick and choose which ones of these you want. I like the way the light like reflects off of the inside of the box. But this is probably the only time she's ever going to get direct air on her. So let's enjoy looking at her before we move on to our last item. Yep, it's a nice doll. I'm also a little tempted by the Ursula just because Ursula's always a nice character design. And again, same with Hades. I like the character design. I don't really care for that movie. But I like the character design of Hades. So who knows? Probably not though. It's like 120 bucks. I could buy that other Lego Star Wars set I want. Oh look, she has I just noticed the light catching it. She has like a little brooch there at her throat. It's not a brooch at her throat, it's probably on a choker. Anyways, it's nice. It's a nice detail. There's a lot of nice detail on her. Now let's seal her up before I wreck her and go on to our final item. So you may remember that I said a few weeks back that I was hoping to have a Haunted Mansion item in every one of these videos leading up to Halloween. And, well, I do. Thankfully, these showed up last night. So as you can tell, I haven't even actually opened them up yet to look at them myself. We're going to look at them for the first time together. These originally came out, I want to say in August, maybe early September, and we couldn't get them. I had them in the basket and they wouldn't let me check out, kind of a situation. But they came back up again finally, and my wife snagged them this time. And so they came in, and they are the new Haunted Mansion ornaments featuring characters from the Stretching Room and the Groundskeeper. Yep, they aren't sealed. You know what? Let's get them out of the box and take closer looks at them. Here we go, and don't they look nice and at home on my Haunted Mansion inspired table runner? So we have the ghosts from the Stretching Room. We have Sarah Sally Slater doing her little tightrope ballet act. Constance Hatchaway. Alexander Nitrikov. They haven't given the Groundskeeper a name yet, have they? He's like the only character who doesn't have a name anymore. Because even on the pop, he was just called like the Groundskeeper, or I think it was Groundskeeper. And he's got his little skeletal dog with him, his like skinny skin and bones dog. And of course, we have the Haunted Mansion plaque. And I want to say, in particular, the Groundskeeper is very cartoonish. And if you don't look at it quite right, it kind of looks like his open mouth is like a Shaggy-style goatee, which I guess would make that Scooby with him. And I believe these are supposed to glow. So let's see if we can do that. And yeah, we can see a little bit that they do in fact glow. Let's see if I can get the black light on them to get it to go a little bit better. Looks like, yeah, well, her whole dress glows. That's kind of cool. And then Constance, her shawl, and looks like the flower, and her hand. Basically all the white on Alexander. including a patch on his head, which I think is probably a mistake. I don't think that's supposed to glow. But yeah, right there on his head. I think that's probably a painting error. The watchman, or sorry, the groundskeeper, of course, his scarf glows, and the lantern, because it'd be kind of weird if the lantern didn't glow, wouldn't it? And then on the plaque, just kind of some accents, and the words, "The Haunted Mansion." But yeah, those are nice. I like those. So yep, these are cute. I actually have a few sets, I think, of Haunted Mansion ornaments already. I have the singing busts, and I have the hitchhiking ghosts. I think a couple different versions of hitchhiking ghosts. I think I have like an individual ones of them, and then I have the one to them in the Doom buggy, and of course I have the Madame Leota one that lights up. And yeah, they're cute little ornaments. Still no Hatbox Ghost, but hey, I have a Hatbox Ghost pin from last week, so I'm not going to complain too much about the fact that it's not a Hatbox Ghost ornament. You know, we could have done him instead of this, maybe. Or, I guess it's kind of interesting because these are all characters, at least as they looked when they were alive. I mean, he's the only one that's still alive at the time of the ride. But these are the ones we saw in their more corruptible, mortal states. But they're very cute, and I like them. And they were they were a Disney Parks item, so they aren't going to be like in the Disney Store, and they were $39.99. And I want to say as of yesterday, which is the last time I looked, they were sold out again. So if you didn't get them, I don't know if they're going to restock them or not. I mean, they're Christmas ornaments, so they might restock them after Halloween. But they're also very obviously, they understand that people aren't going to necessarily put these on trees because they all have stands. And one thing I like, they have these little clips on the ornaments to take the strings off. So if you are just going to stand them up somewhere, they don't have to have this dangling off of them, which is nice. But that is going to wrap it up for today. That is it for our weekend magic. I hope you found this at all interesting and entertaining. If you did, please make sure to give the video a like and make sure to subscribe to the channel. And I will probably post some closer pictures of some of these things on the @VoidOfIntelligence Instagram later on today, or if I forget, maybe tomorrow. I do want to thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. So please have a magical, magical weekend.